Hey everyone, Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. So I get asked quite often across everywhere, the YouTube comments, Facebook groups, Instagram, you name it, how much is it going to cost me to get a site going, rank it, and start getting traffic and conversions and commissions or revenue from selling the leads to businesses or using a pay-per-call network to route the calls to them and then get paid from them. So I put together a 6-month plan with what I am doing for one of my sites in a relatively competitive niche, and I figured I would show you guys what you can expect to have to do in order to rank for one of these particular type of keywords. So before we get into this can vary tremendously. There are so many different factors that will come into play with ranking your site and building your site and doing your on-page and making sure you have everything and all of your ducks in a row. And also the competition is different from niche to niche and city to city. No search engine result page is the same. Again, this is not going to be verbatim for what to do, but just use this as a guide for what to expect moving forward. So that way you know going into it that, okay, hey, I have to do this in month 1, I have to do this in month 2, and this in month 3, and so forth. Now, this is also not going to include registering your own business. So if you have not registered an LLC or a corporation, you're going to want to go do that. The prices are going to vary from state to state. It takes you an hour or two to do it. I know some people will say focus on making money first, and that's all fine and dandy. However, you will want to set up a business. I do have videos like that here on the channel. It's a very, very simple process. You pay the fee, fill out the paperwork, you're done. Now, for this search result, what we are targeting is a local business niche. So if you're someone who maybe just happened to stumble across this video and maybe thinking this is about like affiliate marketing for a physical product or like something sold on Amazon, no, these are locally based service businesses that we are targeting in the search result, where we build a website and then we get traffic to that website by ranking it in the search results. So when someone goes and searches for plumber in Des Moines, for example, or water damage restoration in Springfield, Missouri, or any city and service combination you could possibly imagine, we want to have our website show up there and get that traffic, and then basically either capture that lead from someone submitting the information on the contact form or making a phone call, which we route to a local business that we are actually working with to sell them the lead. Or we work with a pay-per-call affiliate network who supplies us with phone numbers, and then when someone makes that phone call, it goes into that affiliate network's phone system and then routes the call to the business from there. So we'll say this is 1,000 searches per month, and the cost per click for the Google search ads are $30 or so. And if you were to run ads in this particular search result to get a decent amount of traffic, which is comparable to what the first page rankings are going to get, you would be spending anywhere between $9,000 to $10,000 to get that traffic. Now, that is absolutely insane, but there are businesses that are paying for it, because if they're running ads in that particular keyword, there is value in being in that spot. Now, also, you can count on additional traffic coming in because you'll probably rank for similar keywords if you set things up the right way with synonyms. So if Dallas plumber is generating 1,000 searches a month, you also are going to rank for Dallas plumbing contractor, which may only get $250 a month, but you're also ranking for that. Now, the competition level for what we are competing against, we'll say on average they have between 50 to 100 referring domains that are, again, the majority of them are going to be directories, but we are going to count on us needing some good powered PBNs and some other stuff as well, which we'll get into. But these are going to be an emergency type of niches where the top spots get some really good click-through rates and also really good on-page conversions. These are things like plumbing, water damage, pest control, mold removal, electricians, and services like that, where someone is in almost a dire need and they are going to the first resource they find, and they are going to make a phone call right then and there, or send their information via email, via contact form, whatever. So with ranking for this keyword, 2 to 3 qualified calls a day would not be out of reach once you have acquired that ranking. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys are just wondering, how much is this going to cost me to get the website going and get ranking, get traffic conversions? So that number is $1,337 is what I have assessed over the course of 6 months. So round up to $1,350, or hell, you could even honestly round it up to $1,500, and I would still be okay with it because I know what I'm building and I know that the value is here in this search result. So if you're targeting a location that is much, much less competitive, because this is quite competitive for a local business. So if you're targeting suburbs or just anything that's not like a big city with lots of competition, it's going to be drastically lower than this. But we weigh it out, it's about $225 a month. 60 bucks a week or $8 or so a day. So less than going to lunch at Chipotle, or less than spending Saturday night at the bar, then being hungover Sunday, not getting anything done Monday because you have brain fog. Tuesday, you finally start to come back to normal and you just missed out on 2 full days or 2.5 days of work that you could have been getting done. So before we get into this, yes, you're going to be operating in the red for a couple months, but what you're building is something that could generate 2 to 3 qualified calls or leads every single day without having to leave your house, really. Once the site's ranking, yes, you have to maintain it and do those sorts of things that go along with it, but you don't have to clock in at a job, and you could be making upwards of $200 to $300 per day if you were to negotiate a lead gen campaign with a customer, rather than doing it for a network, because you could easily say to one of these businesses, if you're ranking here in this particular search result, you call up someone on page 2, page 3, or any business that's got money to be able to spend and they want to grow, say, hey, we're here at number 1 spot. Would you like to buy the leads from us for $100? So 2 to 300 bucks, definitely not out of reach. Or even it could be, even if it was half that, you'd still be doing tremendous. But you could say to them, hey, yeah, if you were to run ads, so first they'd have to then possess the skill to run ads or hire someone to do it. So there's a service fee in addition to the ad spend. They would be paying, if it's 1 out of every 5 that converts into a lead, that's $150 for a lead right there. Or they could pay nothing for the traffic. The only thing they're paying for is the actual person interested in purchasing a service or talking with them about service for $100 or even 75 or even 50, and you are still doing very, very well at this rate. At $100 to $300 a day, it doesn't take much to earn back this investment, even if this took $2,000 to get to that ranking. So month 1, you're going to need a domain. I always recommend Namecheap. It works well for me. $12 a year. And then hosting, so HostGator, if you go to the link below, use 1 cent as the promo code. It's going to be 1 cent for your domain, and then about $12 a month after that. So you're looking at $72 over the course of 6 months. The first month, it's going to basically be free. Then you're going to need some type of premium WordPress theme. There are free ones, but they don't look that great. They don't have a lot of customizable features. So you could head over to the Envato network or Theme Forest, whatever the word is for it. I had bad experiences there, so I'm never going back. But you can pick up one there for $50, or I always recommend Three Architect. Divi's another one. Three Architect's going to be $97 for 5 website licenses. So you're looking at less than $20 for each site. But being as we have to spend that all right then and there, that's $97. Then you're going to want to have high quality images. So this is optional. You don't have to do this, or you could find a different place to get these pictures, but Adobe Stock has some great photos. You can get 10 pictures per month at $30. You can go to other free sources out there, like Pixabay is one of them. So you don't want to be stealing images or anything like that, but if you have your own, that's sweet, depending on the niche. So then what you're going to be doing is spending several hours building out the pages, learning how to work in the builder that you've selected, whether it's Divi, whether it's Three, whatever, creating your city plus service pages, and also building out your social profiles. There's no cost to this if you're the one doing it. Granted, it is your labor hours, but if you're not paying an employee, there's no actual hard cost going to build these. Next up is claiming a Google My Business listing. If you are targeting an area that you're not located in, or if you don't want it registered to your house and all the things that go along with it, then that's going to be anywhere between $70 to $250. So the gig that I recommend is $70. I just used them a couple weeks ago and they are tremendous. Their pricing right now is $70. However, that price could increase in the future if you're watching this 6 months from now or a year from now. So then you're going to want to start doing the legwork and figuring out what your competition has for citations. Google Maps is one of those citations, by the way. But you're going to want to have citations built out pointing to your site based on what your competition has. Again, there's no hard cost to most of those, but I will link down below in the description, or you can check out the affiliate marketing playlist here on my channel, which goes in depth with citations and that sort of stuff. Next up, you're going to want to have some Web 2.0s built as soon as your site starts to get indexed, so that's going to be $8. I have a gig down below at the Legit Marketplace that I recommend. And then at some point during month 1, you are going to want to have a social signals blast, and you're going to want to do this at least once per month. Basically, social signals are when a post is made from an account on like Twitter or Facebook with a link to your site. So if you didn't know this already, Google and the social networks are big competitors. Google obviously wants to get that traffic, but also so does Facebook. So when they see Facebook going crazy about this website, or people on Facebook going crazy, that's going to help you with getting seen, because Google's going to realize that, okay, all these people are saying this is the greatest source for this information or this service on Facebook, we need to increase that ranking so our users can find it on Google. And that's not the only thing that factors into ranking, but it helps. So month number 1, $230 initial investment. So now month number 2, again, you're going to want to do another social signals blast, not back to back or anything like that. Usually these are drip fed out over the course of like 2 weeks. So you could do it once every 3 weeks, just have a social signals blast. Then web hosting, and month 2, you'd want to start acquiring your PBN domains. Let's say we pick up 3 super relevant domains from a seller on Legit for $15 a pop. So that's $45, and then we have to register those domains. So I always go to Namecheap for that. I like using them. They are a great service. So you're looking at $81 right there for the initial investment. Then we need hosting for the PBNs. So you can go over to HostGator and pay $12, or GoDaddy is probably $12 as well. I really like using easy blog networks. They make it very easy to manage all the sites and also host them on different hosts, and that way you don't have to really mess with Cloudflare and that sort of stuff. So that's $35 a month, up to 10 sites. So obviously with only 3 sites, it's a little expensive, but you'll see in later months here, we'll be utilizing this to its full potential for sure. And then also at this point, you're going to want to have some map embeds on some Web 2.0s with your Google My Business listing. I also recommend when you're building out your site, especially the Service Plus City pages or really any of the pages on your site, to embedding the Google My Business listing onto your website on as many pages as you can. And then content creation. So you're going to be creating all these PBNs and building out the domains, writing the posts and everything like that. And also one thing to note, I forgot to mention this, is that when you have PBNs, you can use them for other sites. So it's not like it's just one and done. And this may vary depending on the niche and who you talk to and that sort of stuff. But I have achieved multiple rankings on multiple PBNs. You just have to watch how you have those money sites or your client sites hosted, and if you have Cloudflare to protect them and that sort of stuff. You have to spend several hours building out the sites. And yes, there's no cost to that if you're doing it yourself. If you have a VA, if you have an employee, that sort of stuff, you obviously have costs that go into it. However, here's the cool thing about when you're doing all of this essential manual labor online, is that you are acquiring a skill set that, 1, you can take and build other sites with, and 2, you can also replicate yourself and delegate this task to somebody like a VA or like an employee that can then eventually do all these things for you once you have enough sites to it being at the point where it's too much to manage. It's the same thing as a guy starting a landscaping company and he's branching out from just cutting grass to start going out and building patios and then installing trees and rock and shrubs, that he needs to hire someone that can go and manage all the lawn mowing that needs to get done, for example. Same exact principle. Now, month 2, grand total investment is $150 roughly. So you're looking at about $375 to $400 invested at this point in time. Now moving into month 3, another social signals blast. You're hosting for your website, 3 more PBNs. So there's another $81. And hosting, of course. So we're using Easy Blog Network, so it just carries over for the monthly cost, with the $35 every single month for up to 10 sites. And then we're also going to throw a curveball into this, and we're going to get a press release, because some of the competition that I have assessed in these keywords that I'm targeting have posts on news sites and those sort of outlets. So in using the gig down below at Legit, it'd be about $85. And you could also do this during month number 2. But again, content creation, it's really priceless in my opinion, and you're also learning as you go. So $226, $230 roughly, so just over $600 so far invested into our campaign. Now month 4, again, social signals, just the plain stuff here with the web hosting as well, and acquiring 3 more domains if we are starting to see rankings start to uptick. If we have not been seeing our sites increasing in rank, then maybe we'll want 5 to 6. We'll keep it simple and just say that we are moving steadily forward. So we're looking at another $45 plus $36 for the domains and $81. So now we're up to 9 total PBNs. So our Easy Blog hosting is still only $35. And then another thing that I would recommend is some type of guest posting or blogger outreach on a high authority blog. So this can vary tremendously depending on the site and that sort of stuff. But for this assessment, I'm going to just say that it's going to be about $90. And then again, content creation. So looking at $230 for this month and $832 or $850 we'll round up so far. By this point, with month 4, you should be seeing big increases in traffic and your rankings and some conversions coming in to start earning back this initial investment. So month number 5, again, social signals and hosting for the site. And so then we're going to bump up, we're going to double the amount of new PBN domains, and we're going to need 6 more of them. So you're looking at about $90 in costs, and this can vary depending on vendor to vendor, but with the domain registration, you're looking at another 72, so 162. And then for hosting our domains, we're looking at another 40. We're looking at 49 because we're bumped up to the 15 site package. Again, these prices could change in the future, but you're then creating content, spending some more time building everything out, which is priceless. So grand total 235, 1,068 invested thus far. Now we get into month 6. You should start seeing traffic and conversion and all the magic happening by this point for sure, if you stayed consistent with this. Again, these numbers may vary tremendously, but you have to stay tuned. But you should go down below and subscribe, and that way you'll be able to stay tuned in the future to see if I'm able to hit these goals for conversions and also with the ranking on this particular site. So month 6 would do 2 social signal blasts, or maybe we just do a more high-powered one, so $25 to $30. Web hosting again. Then we're going to do 6 more domains if we were still stuck at maybe at the bottom of page 1 or on page 2 or something like that. So you're looking at another 90 plus 72, so 162. And then hosting for those domains. So if we're continuing to use EBN, you'd be bumping up to the 25 site plan, so that's $69. There are some other things here that we could throw in, but for this estimate, we'll keep it simple. But grand total for the month, $270 and $1337 invested thus far. So that's a rough assessment for what you could expect to see for a site that you would want to rank. Again, SEO is totally different from niche to niche and location to location. Now, 2 to 3 leads is not out of reach for a search like that, especially if you're ranking near the top of the first page. And that would generate anywhere between 20 to 100 or more per lead, again, depending on that monetization strategy. On the low end for a pay-per-call affiliate niche, but you don't have to talk to anybody, or if you're comfortable being on the phone with somebody or emailing or meeting in person, even if it's local, you could earn upwards of more than that for the leads generated. Now, the way to increase this traffic even more without having to do very much in addition to this, but being as you're building out links to your site, the authority and the trust is increasing. So when you build out a new service plus city page, it almost is going to become easy. Now, I'm not going to say anything's easy because you still have to do work, but it becomes a lot easier to outrank your competitors because your site already has all this authority and trust. So if you're ranking for something like Atlanta plumbing and you build out a page that's all about Dalton, Georgia plumbing, it's going to probably rank to that first page relatively quickly without any additional links because it just has so much authority. Now, this doesn't also include the potential bonus conversions that you may be able to obtain, and that would be dispatching retargeting ads on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Google Display, and even YouTube if you really wanted to go above and beyond. If someone were to go to your site and they didn't click to call or submit their information through the lead form. So that's a method that you can use to further enhance the visitor to lead ratio and really maximize the amount of conversions you're getting with your site. Now, also, to further scale this, you just repeat the same process. Again, it's going to vary a little bit in terms of the amounts and that sort of stuff, but you would do more of this with other sites in other locations and niches. And then also, one last thing is that if you have a site that's doing $300 a day, which is about $9,000 a month, and if you, depending on your margins and that sort of stuff, if you have some ad costs coming into that, that comes into play. But let's say it's profiting even $5,000 a month. If you do that for 3 to 6 months straight, that site now has value on the marketplace for someone to want to buy it for anywhere between 20 to 35 times the monthly profit. So you're looking at that site being worth anywhere between $100,000 to $175,000. And then you exit the site, you take that money, and you invest it into building more sites or whatever it is that you'd want to do from there. So I know I covered a lot of information in this video. Don't necessarily take all of this for verbatim for what you want to do for the exact route plan because it's going to be a little bit different depending on the niche and the location you're targeting. But hopefully this will help you just get some ideas of what you can expect to do moving forward in the future. So if you like this type of content, be sure to go down below, drop a like on this video. If you're not already subscribed, go down below, join the family, hit the subscribe button, and also smash the bell for notifications so that way you know when the newest content comes live. If you are interested in learning more in-depth information on how to build out websites, rank them in search results, monetize them with pay-per-call offers or lead gen offers, there's a link down below to my course so you can get access there. And if you're interested in the 9 most profitable pay-per-call and lead gen niches, there's a link down below where you can download that also. So with that said, my name is Wacek. Thank you for checking out my channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one.